everyone, it's Judy Klock here at Stampin' with Crafty Klock. It is Thursday at 7:30 and I'm coming to you live. And tonight I wanted to share with you the really beautiful Simply Elegant suite. I finally had a chance to sit down and play with the products this week, and I have to say it's beautiful in its simplicity, and I know that's kind of redundant, but the designer series paper is gorgeous with lots of metallic accents. Look at these stamps, look at the details, beautiful sentiments. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. This is on page 69 in the catalog, and you can buy the entire product suite, which consists of the stamp set, the punch, the twine, the metallic twine, and the designer series paper. And just look at this gorgeous twine. You've got the silver and you've got the gold. We're going to be working with each of these tonight. And then you've got this gorgeous designer series paper. Look at this one. I've already used almost, this is the last sheet I have. That's all I have left. It's like a half a sheet. But I love how there's the metallic accents on one side and then just the solid colors on the back. And the coordinating colors are basic gray, black, whisper white, very vanilla, and of course the gold and copper foils, and a little bit of silver foil too. But look at that, stunning. Isn't that pretty? I don't know which one is my favorite. I think they're all just so gorgeous. So if you haven't had a chance, go ahead and look at this suite. Like I said, it's on pages 68 and 69 in your new catalog, and I think you'll really like it. And let me get, you know what, I think I left the punch over there. Let me get the punch because we'll need that. Okay. And look at this beautiful little punch that you can make all kinds of labels with. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me show you the two cards we're going to do today. They're really both sort of simple. There's not a lot of stamping. So this one pulls out some of that gorgeous gold tones with a little accent of the gold metallic paper. And then we just have a little bit of stamping and one little tiny embellishment. So that's it for that card. And the next card, again, we're really just letting this beautiful designer series paper do all the heavy lifting on these cards. But look at this. I made this label a little bit longer because I wanted to have the floral images with a little thank you. So I'll show you how to go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me just pull that out of the way. There we go. Okay. So for both cards, I'm using a base of thick whisper white. And this one is 8.5 by 5.5. Scored at 4 1/4. To this, we're going to add a piece of basic gray that is 5 1/4 by 4. We're going to have a piece of that designer series paper that is 5 1/4 by 2. And then we have a piece of our gold metallic foil, and that is 5 1/4 by 1/2 inch. So let's go ahead. We're going to do a little bit of stamping on here, very simple stamping. And we're stamping this in our basic gray, so we're doing our tone on tone. Now, if you don't have matching colors, you can always use Versamark, and that will also give you the tone on tone look. So let's go ahead and get started. And again, I'm using this beautiful, I guess I want to call it like a corner filigree piece almost. And I'm just going to stamp it up in the upper right corner. And then I'm going to re-ink it. I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to stamp it in the upper left corner, but kind of in the reverse image. So you're not going to see that much of it, but that's okay. So don't worry about that, because that will be covered up by our designer series paper. So let's go ahead and layer on our designer series paper. Let me just move that out of the way for a minute. I'm going to add some Stampin' Seal Plus. Okay. How's everybody's week going? Mine's been pretty good. I guess we're in for some nasty weather today and tomorrow. I guess the storms are rolling in, so it's supposed to dump a lot of rain in a very short period of time. We shall see. Okay, there we go. So that's that. Now we're going to go ahead and add this little piece to right across where the designer series paper kind of meets our cardstock. All right. And once we have all our layers put together, we can go ahead and attach this to our card base. That's it. That's pretty simple. A lot of it was just straight cuts on our paper trimmer and very simple stamping. And we're just going to stamp a little sentiment, a little happy birthday, and then we're going to punch that out. So let's go ahead and add this to our card base. All right. Now we're going to we're going to stamp our happy birthday again in our basic gray. And I think it is, what does it say? Wishing you a wonderful birthday. That's what our sentiment says. So we're going to just go ahead and stamp that right here. Actually, that's pretty straight. Usually I've been doing them a little crooked, but that's not too bad. Okay, I'm going to close that up for now. Now I'm going to come in with my punch, and I'm just going to slide this in here. And we're going to, now, see how that's a little bit short? Here's a little trick. If your paper is sometimes a little bit too short, add a piece, just a little sticky, like a little Post-it note, and that will give you just enough to go ahead and punch it. I'm just going to make sure my words are straight, and I'm punching it out. There we go. Now I'm going to put this on with some Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm going to use a little tiny, like a mini one right here at the top, and then I'm just going to use my regular ones on the larger body of the tag. Probably just maybe, I don't know, maybe 3. It's kind of a lopsided little thing, but we want to put one on the bottom. Okay. So we're just going to go ahead and put that right there. Now, don't forget to leave me a comment or give me a like. Not only does it make my heart happy, but it also gives you a chance to be entered in for a drawing to win the cards we make tonight. Hey, Fran, how you doing? I had to buy a mailing envelope to mail you your cards from last week. I don't have one big enough for the slim line. So now I'm going to take this twine, and here's a little pro tip. When it comes off the spool, it's really very tight and it's very hard to work with. So just take it and just kind of run it through your fingers to kind of straighten it out. And that will make it a little bit straighter, take out all that curl and just make it easier to work with. So we're just going to go ahead and tie this into a little, it's kind of a little knot. I'm just going to trim it up. And then I'm going to take a little glue dot and I'm going to roll that glue dot up. And we are going to go ahead and add that to our card. I'm just going to pull it off. I'm just going to kind of roll it up and put it right there, kind of like what I call the neck of our little tag. And we're just going to pop that right there. And that's it. Now, how simple is that? And again, we're letting that really gorgeous designer series paper do all the heavy lifting on these cards. It's stunning. Like I said, I know it's called elegantly, what is it called? Simply elegant? Elegantly said, but it is simply elegant. Okay, our next card, again, we're going to use our thick white, basic white card base. This is 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2, so it's going to stand up tall. I have another piece of that gorgeous designer series paper. This is 5 1/2 by 1 1/2, and I'm going to add that to a piece of basic black that is 5 1/2 by 1 3/4. So let's go ahead and put that on. And again, so easy. I love this set. And it's got everything for like anniversaries, birthdays, thank you. You know, could even be, I guess, what could be construed as a sympathy with one of the sentiments. It says, life changed for you, but my love and support never will. You know, that could be used for anything. You know, maybe somebody, you know, lost a loved one or is going through a divorce, or, you know, lost their job, anything, you know, or maybe, you know, something good happened. Maybe they had a baby or, you know, whatever. All right, so now we're just going to go ahead and we're going to lay this on our card front a little bit to the left of center, probably leaving about, I don't know, maybe ½ an inch of that white edge showing on the left side. And we're just going to lay that down. Now we're going to come back here. Now I have a piece of basic white that is 1 3/4 by 5.5. And the reason it's narrow and long is because I am going to take it and I'm going to kind of work it into my punch because I want to make a longer punch. Now this requires patience because it's not really that easy to do. It took me quite a bit of time, but it's worth it if you can have the patience to deal with it and get it in there. I just like to see where it's got to go. Okay, I think it's got to go right in there. And of course now, because I'm live, it's not going to work, but it worked so well earlier. Now it's starting to go in. Let me just see if I can wiggle that up there. No, that's not just going to go. Let me go trim it just a hair. Maybe it just needs to be trimmed just a hair. Just trimmed it by 1/8 of an inch. Now maybe that'll go in a little bit easier, or maybe not. Maybe it was just wishful thinking on my part. Oh my goodness. Trust me, it worked really well when I did it earlier. Don't you love it when the best laid plan? There we go. Okay, so now see how it's in there? So I'm going to just trim off my bottom. So now I've got that lovely kind of rounded bottom. And now let's hope that we can get it to go in as nicely for the top. Come on. Come on, baby. Oh my goodness. Well, I promise you that it does work. And it looks quite lovely when it does work. Yep. It doesn't want to go in right now for some, there we go, whoops. Oh, there we go. Okay, now we've got it. Maybe? Maybe? No? I promise you it works. I don't know why it's giving me such a hard time right now. This makes me so sad because it looks so good when it does it. Well, all right, so we're going to drop back and punch. We're not going to have that little pretty top. Let's see if we can just round off this other bottom. All right, so we're just going to, all right, we're going to do a little bit different. So normally you can actually do the top and the bottom, but I couldn't get the top to work, so I just did kind of 2 bottoms. So then I took this pretty floral stamp and I used our smoky slate. And I just kind of brought one here. And then I put one on the bottom. Just kind of right there. And I left a little bit of room in the middle so that I could write, thank you, not write, but I could stamp, thank you. And I'm just gonna bring in the tuxedo black. So again, we're keeping this very basic. We're not adding a lot of color. It's really sort of monochromatic. It's just black and white, shades of gray. Well, all right, this ink pad, I'm having a rough night tonight, folks. Anyway, once we have that done, we're going to again put this on our card with some Stampin' dimensionals. And not many, I mean, you know, maybe like 4. One on each side, top and bottom. That one stuck there, was there. Okay. Take off all our little things. All right. Now I was going to add a silver ribbon to this, a little silver twine. When I put that on there crooked, that's going to drive me crazy. Let's see if I can just fix that a little bit better. There we go. That looks better. All right, so that's it. That is our Elegantly Said product suite. I think you will like it. Like I said, that designer series paper is gorgeous. Again, don't forget to leave me a comment or like or something so that I know that you were here and I can enter you in for the drawing. That's it for me, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. I will see you next week here at Stampin' with Crafty Klock. Have a good weekend.